Hello, Sagittarius. This is going to be a zodiac specific reading, as you can tell by the title. And as I went to start your video, there was a great roll of thunder. And it's been a beautiful day, though humid as can be. And all of a sudden, I'm in here recording. I just did the Leo reading. And getting ready to do yours, pulled your cards forward and heard that. And in my head, I know there's a bunch of songs about lightning and thunder, but the one that came to my mind, I had to look it up. I had to stop and look it up. I guess it's by Imagine Dragons, and maybe you know it. It's only been a few years since it's been out. It's something about, not somebody who's following the crowds, and back in their hometown, there were kids laughing at this kid trying to do things for the masses. And they said, "Who do you think you are, dreaming about being a big star?" But then it goes forward, and he says he's lightning before the thunder, and that now, after all of this, then how does it go that now they're standing on the stage while these guys are up in the nosebleed section. So it's like the tables have turned. This person actualized their destiny. There's been foreshadowing. So, all right, Sagittarius, quick little extra intro for you. So what I have done is I've taken a note card and I put the symbol for one of the zodiac signs on each one of these cards, and I meditated on those energies blindly without showing myself the card, and I wrote down on the other side the impressions and channeled messages. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a peek of that. You can flip it around and screenshot it and see if you can read my writing and take those messages in your own time and meditate on them yourself. I'm going to do my best not to interpret them for you and just to read the information. Then we have a Tao Te Ching reading, an Art of War, a couple of archetypal cards, some shamanic mixed deck cards, other oracle, tarot, and finishing with a Whispers of the Ocean oracle card at the end. And what I did was I took all of those note cards, laid them all out, again blindly. Then I was shuffling through various decks, and I was placing a few of all of the deck cards on each of the piles. And so, as I said, you'll have a mix of a bunch of different cards coming forward. I haven't peeked at your energy, so I don't know what we're about to get into. So let's see. Leo, moment of silence, windswept, bygone nostalgia, closure, gentle smile, breathe, receiving mode, opening the 6th and the 7th chakra, third eye and crown, new day, begin again, anticipation, patience, prayerful, mental and emotional clearing, particularly mental, underlined, coming into light, proof of a level up, new opportunity, and that game when you're trying to give somebody clues to walk towards something they don't know where it's at, and you're saying warmer, colder, warmer, hotter, burning up. So there's some kind of a game afoot, perhaps, being playful, maybe with spirit trying to show you the way. Then we follow that with authentic path, stepping aside from the race to feel, digestive health, central processing unit, CPU, and also in regards to the body. So what is your central processing unit? You would think that it's the brain, but is it not equally the heart? Is it not equally the gut brain and the digestive health? So CPU, defrag, updates, restart, reboot, Control-Alt-Delete, all of these computer terms about putting things in order, updating, restarting, and recalibration here. Tools, research, connectivity, technology, circuit, perhaps overload, and then memory, cache. So stored memory. The previous few days, we've had 2 or 3 readings that had something to do with memory stored in the body, and memory stored in the soul blueprint of perhaps our future or our concurrent potentialities. Files, folders, order, table of contents, lists, and how many tabs do you have open? And if you are not a computer person, even on your phone, every time that you open up a new occurrence of the internet, on most phones, it opens a new page. And if you don't end up going back through and closing out those tabs, your computer is holding space for each one of those things and occurrences, and it's taking the memory to run and hold that space for that thing that you're no longer using. And so there's something about that, cleaning it up, clearing it out. And also with the mind, body, the heart, holding tabs open, holding a flame for previous things that no longer hold relevance. Learn the lesson and clear the space so that you can receive anew. Delegate or delegate, leader, mentor, apprentice, partner, share, co-op or cooperative, an exchange or stock exchange, and then appointment and position. So it could be something to do with your job or with a hobby. It can be something about your ability to put job, hobby, whatever it might be that is too many tabs open, or previous relationships or whatever, to put them in context, or to shut down the computer at the end of the night, to shut the phone off and leave it alone for half hour, whatever it is before bed, so that you can get a more restful sleep. Let's see what the cards have to say. Again, I didn't take a peek at these. Number 44 is your Tao message. Master number 44. Fame or integrity, which is more important? Money or happiness, which is more valuable? Success or failure, which is more destructive? If you look to others for fulfillment, you will never truly be fulfilled. If your happiness depends on money, you will never be happy with yourself. Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. I love that. Yeah, opening the awareness and opening the mind, being able to see that you already have leveled up, even if the physical manifestation of millions in the bank account may not be yours. It's still like those lessons, this spiritual gold, as well as, some money in the bank. Even if you're still worried about money, tell yourself not that there's a scarcity of money, but I always have what I need. I always end up landing on my feet. It's not a lie to say that we've all had failures, but to focus on the failure or to focus on our ability to stand back up afterwards. Because every time we've fallen, we've gotten back up, correct? Here we are, still alive, still kicking. Sun Tzu said, "In the practical art of war, the best thing of all is to take the enemy's country whole and intact. To shatter and destroy it is not so good. So, too, it is better to recapture an army entire than to destroy it. To capture a regiment, a detachment or a company entire than to destroy them. Let's read the back because the back kind of says a little bit more. I just saw 1010. Argue with respect. If both parties can remain respectful of one another during an argument, then the resolution will be something worth having. A serious argument can end in the destruction of a relationship, leaving devastation for both the defeated and the conqueror. An authentic victory is a victory over aggression, one that respects the enemy and renders further conflict unnecessary. That's beautiful. Argue with respect. And even if you need to say goodbye to an individual, there's no reason or need to shatter their identity or to reduce them the way that perhaps you feel that you've been reduced. And if somebody else starts to go there, we can always say, you know, I can understand that you have a lot of feelings in this moment. And if that's truly the way you feel, I can apologize. I blah blah blah. You can do whatever the moment calls for, but um there you have it. It's just like, instead of saying, no, well, you're at fault. So arguing with respect. So somebody here may be a bit childish, somebody you're dealing with or yourself, and it's advising us to take a deep breath before saying something that will destroy the other individual, because ultimately we're all walking each other home. We can thank the enemy for pushing us to reinforce our boundaries and our limitations. And again, we have the other decks flipped up right on the desk here, and I'm not doing a reading with the cards underneath the deck, but only calling them out when they need to. And we have this in the Whispers of the Ocean Oracle: setting up parameters, access or assess your relationships and determine how they're aligned with your goals. Setting boundaries requires an honest evaluation of your present relationships. So, yeah, I'll just leave that one there. So then from the archetypal deck here, this is an interesting combination. Let's see what it holds for us. We've got the Orphan, number 5. So somebody in this situation, however aggressive or at fault or whatever you want to say they may appear, they may be this way because of an abandonment wound. And I'm not saying to dismiss or to create compassion for, just understanding in the moment. So there's not this urge to create further breakdown of something that's already broken. So whether it's yourself or the other, if there's a sense of isolation or alienation or abandonment, orphan wound, abandonment wound is sometimes people who participate in their own estrangement because of the way that they are or for many other reasons. And perhaps this individual has their reasons for these issues, but there's something to do with this where maybe somebody is super attached and codependent on your energy or vice versa, and that may be playing both directions in this situation. But with your lightning and thunder, your glow up energy, it's like they're kind of perhaps you've perhaps seen them as scoffing at your idealism or your plans and goals, trying to, take the air out of your tire, but burst your bubble. But then they were maybe just afraid that you'd outgrow them, and in their own broken way, trying to stop the flow of your success because they don't want you to outgrow them. So then we have next 61, the mask. Darkness and light here, duality. And I'm kind of seeing this as somebody who wears a brave face or wears a friendly face, but then they can create these undermining moments and perhaps trying to, whether it is full-blown gaslighting or something like that, you'll know. But it's like this is just a mask for their sadness. And I guess maybe we're calling a little bit of compassion down for these individuals so that in the moment that we perhaps are anticipating an argument or stating something that creates some type of disagreement, um, we're afraid of opening a can of worms. Look at this underworld with all of these wormies here. And even though the worms and the beetles and the bugs can be seen as gross, they're also such a vital part of the ecosystem of the soil. And we wouldn't have food if we didn't have compost and soil and bugs that were down there, eating and excreting these highly nutrient dense things into the soil. So it's kind of gross, but I think that the thing that we're talking about here is like, I see this snake here as almost the evolved state of the worm. And so the worm is like going through aerating the soil and creating this composty, fertile situation. It's like the trials and tribulations they've gone through should help them to be stronger. And as the powerful, evolved individual, the snake that has shed its skin and has grown and has that sacred wisdom and knowledge and gnosis, that healing caduceus with the intertwined snakes, the kundalini snake, it's like this is your wisdom and understanding where they're at, is like being able to be very cautious and careful with the way that we approach and perhaps sever a connection with another individual so as not to create more harm, because do harm to none. There's a funny saying, maybe if it comes out later I'll be able to do it. It's like, um, do harm to none but carry a big stick or something like that. I don't know, I'm butchering it. There's a couple ways to say it. Anyways, I feel like that's enough on that situation. There's a can of worms to be opened here. So I'm seeing this as two separate things here. What do we have here? Yeah, new opportunity, too many tabs open. Okay. So mentor, apprentice, partner. So maybe this is somebody that you have been working with on the work end of things, but that your situation has become too full. Your evolution has created so many opportunities, so much demand for your time, energy, and attention that you need to pull back in certain places where either it's unrewarding or it's not in the wheelhouse that you're trying to really focus in on. It's like, when things get crazy and chaotic, we need to simplify. We need to close the number of tabs that have us reaching and going and solving problems for other individuals that could solve their own issues. And so, yeah, they might say that they need us, but that's a mask for their loneliness, perhaps. And what they really need is friendship and belonging. And perhaps on some level, they've been siphoning from your light. Okay, this is a beautiful card for you. Get context here. Look at the dragonfly at the throat. Perhaps you've been really upset by this situation in various ways. But this is a very childlike card. It's like their abandoned inner child. And maybe this is how they speak to themselves, which, we cannot hardly help. But I think that our ability, your ability to handle this situation is going to be beautiful. it's like the dragonfly in the throat, the heart and throat area is almost like really speaking from the heart instead of from the ego, and being able to really evolve and to speak to this person from a place of, you really don't need me. You say you do, but I've seen you do blah, blah, blah. I'm not going anywhere. Maybe you can call, or, maybe we'll get together in a couple months, or maybe you don't want to stop doing this thing or this interaction altogether, but you're just setting a border, a parameter here with them to say, like, I can still, be around, but I can't be at your disposal. We can't talk every afternoon at 3 o'clock. I'm too busy, and, you know, you know, it's your situation. Number 18, the Earth Keeper comes out next. And I see this individual almost crying, and then there's the wings here. But look at how this red hair, it's almost like the inner child and the mask. And it's almost seeing them having aged or something. There's something else there. It'll come out if it needs to come out. Moving forward, okay, Dragon's Horde, protecting the future. You and your nest egg, protecting all that you have. It's like as you grow and evolve, again, having too many tabs open, needing to simplify. It's like we need to withdraw our energy and our attention from these other things that can do for themselves, because we are being kept from our destiny in some type of a way here. We need to take the context of this situation, like, is this pursuit that we've talked about here in this individual really serving where you want to go in life, or are they hindering? Uriel and the Sphinx from the Akashic Tarot. Archangel Uriel, I can never remember Uriel's domain, but I do believe it's, let's see, the North, correspondence with the North, I believe, and maybe the scrolls. Anyways, moving forward, and the Sphinx. So it's like you're the embodiment of this angelic. Yeah, maybe that's what we're talking about here, is that you really do have compassion for this individual, and that's why you've been caught up here not trying to save them, but trying to help them because of feeling some type of pity or sorrow for their plight and being able to see right through their mask. But anyways, I'm seeing you as this angelic figure, and them with that stoic self, riddling and trying to capture and compel and reel you back in to keep their hooks in, because they don't want to lose you. So you'll have to look beyond what is said and feel with your heart in this situation to allow the right words to come to you in the situation. But there's a completion with the number 21. That's the major arcana of having, like, the lesson has been learned. It's like in the never ending story when that guy goes through the two sphinx things, and like, if you're unpure of heart and faltering there on that gateway, their eyes open up and they'll reduce you to ash in the moment. They just vaporize you. It's crazy scary, right? And I feel like that's kind of like this face off that's going down here. But in the moment, you surpassing this gateway is really showing yourself to yourself, protecting your future and your divine calling. And the future is waiting for you. Your niche is waiting for you. And then once you get through the door of that gateway, here you are, number 3 of scrolls, setting your course. There's a rainbow, there's the ship full sail, and the telescope looking forward to the future. and some people looking at the map. It's a beautiful sky. It's like Three of Scrolls is about the foresight, the knowledge, the being guided and compelled forward, excitement, adventure, inspiration, and being on the waters. It's like it's unknown territory. It's a little bit exciting in many ways. Ooh, okay. So next two cards, 13. We have the 12 already with Dragon's Horde. 13, Transformation. We've got this, I think it's like a cicada or something here. It says transition, liberation. So maybe this has been, what is the cycle of the cicada, 2-3 years or something like that, where they lay below the soil in hibernation and then they come back out. I don't know the story very well, but it's talking about this this time with the Sphinx, being able to share stories, time, energy, and attention in this way. You've really gotten something particular that you've gained or ascertained, I'm hearing, that is helping you to transform in this way and liberating you for the next leg of the journey. Then we have Knight of Crystals. So that's the Knight of Pentacles, endurance and determination. So that's the slowest moving knight in the deck. We've got the Camel. So endurance and the Camel, it's like you've really put up with a lot in this circumstance or situation. Maybe it's a boss that has exploited you or something else, but you've really put in your time. You've been in a desert and you're ready for this water, for the ocean waters below the ship to hydrate, yeah, you finally made it. And your determination to actually produce what you've promised yourself, the objectives, is you protecting the future from distractions or from those who would tie you down to their issues. Ooh, and next we have Major Arcana number 11, Justice. That dragon is the Sphinx thing, gateway. It's reading the karmic scroll to this pair of individuals. For you, it may be a romantic partnership or something, because we see these people. Are they going to get married? Are they going to get divorced? Are they oh, and it's got the caduceus on the staff almost. It's like a dragon with its tail, but I was seeing the caduceus, whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of karmic roots here. It's a deep valley. It's like this a really dug out channel, like the water has gone through and eroded and created this huge deep channel. So it's like the two of you are intertwined in this way, and you guys are getting what you deserve. And not to say that they're being punished. I don't wish karma on folks. I only wish learning. And if the world is to change, we could definitely wish understanding and insight to our friends and family and foes by just saying, I wish that you could just taste the love that you are missing. Wish them love. Pray for them. To whatever energy you wish. And then the star 17, it's like, navigating by the stars, setting your course. Maybe astrology is something that you are getting into, or astronomy or something else. But with the star here, it's like, yeah, dream about being a big star. Yeah. Who do you think you are? You are about to go on this path that you've promised yourself, and you've been on it for so long. This deeply carved riverbed or whatever it might be here that has dried up for you, and now you've become this camel. You're about to embark on a huge journey. And I think it's something that you've been building slowly, that Knight of Pentacles, endurance and determination to get there. It's not that these people who make it big are an overnight success generally, some I'm sure. It's the hard work that we don't see that creates that outcome many times. And so you have done the work, you've dreamed the dream, and you're really putting more of your marbles into that basket so that you can see it come to fruition. And you are reaching for the stars, you're navigating by the stars and saying, the moon is too close. I want to be out there. I want to touch the sky. I want to touch the love at the core. And number 41, convey your meaning, Sagittarius. Reflect on the way you communicate with others and with yourself. Be sure to express your thoughts and feelings from your heart and with respect and sincerity. Beautiful. If that doesn't say it. So you have many reasons for doing this. So instead of telling the person, well, I'm leaving this job or this relationship because you suck and because I deserve better, uh, maybe saying, I've always dreamed of this and this, and I've noticed that when I'm doing this, I make money, but when I do this, oh, it unlocks my soul. Something to that effect, where it's like, what are your reasons pulling you forward, not what are the ones pushing you forward, if that makes any sense. So that is what I have for you. I hope that that was something that has some type of meaning for you. So yeah, take that moment of silence, and be willing to place some order within your mind, your space, and the way that you are being distracted from your true focus and your destiny, because it's time for you to set that course, and you are. So take care. That's all I have. And do consider like, share, subscribe, share your thoughts and feelings in the comments below. And until next time, take good care of yourself.